Homer shot and killed several ducks with a gun. Just when he thought he had won the race, his toy duck veered off course. Seeing this, Homer immediately jumped into the water to save it. At that moment, his head kept getting hit by paddles. Homer and the duck were carried onto the mill machinery, where he was nearly crushed. Even so, Homer refused to give up on the duck.
Protect the duck! Protect the duck! Protect the duck!
By a twist of fate, his duck somehow found its way back onto the correct course. Just as it was about to cross the finish line, a mother duck mistook the toy for one of her babies. Homer tried to grab it back, but during the struggle, the mother duck clamped onto his mouth. He quickly shook her off and grabbed a random duckling, tossing it back onto the course.
Woohoo! I won!
And the winner is... Go!
Oh, a living duck! I wished too hard and he became real.
In the end, the winning duck belonged to Flanders, who won a computer. Since he didn't really need it, he gave it to the Simpsons. Marge felt embarrassed and wanted to do something in return. Flanders suggested she could help look after his children, and Marge was happy to oblige.
Woo-hoo!
That evening, she went to the Flanders house as agreed and played games with Rod and Todd. The children loved having her around, so Flanders invited her to come more often. Marge was delighted, as this would give Homer time to play with Bart and Lisa. However, left unsupervised, Homer was a danger in himself. He fell asleep while watching the kids, completely oblivious to Bart and Lisa trashing the house.
That was awesome! Let's do it again!
A canoe made of country ham? You know I'll eat it.
While Marge was next door caring for Rod and Todd, Homer couldn't wait any longer and went over for some alone time with her. Just then, Flanders came home, and Homer immediately escaped through the window.
Springfield High football rules! No one turn on the sprinklers, okay?
During those days, Bart and Lisa hardly got any time with Marge, so they asked Homer to take them out. He brought them to a retirement home for movie animals, where they saw many famous creatures from films, including Toot Toot from a young Tarzan adventure. The chimp looked sad because all its babies had been taken away for filming. Bart tried to comfort it with ice cream. Toot Toot instantly cheered up at the sight of it, and so did Homer. The next second, Toot Toot grabbed Bart and carried him up into a tree.
My son's been ape-napped!
Bart was being tormented by the chimpanzee. Homer watched helplessly, unable to do anything. A chimp that size could easily rip a person's head off. That night, Bart tried to escape but kept getting caught. Homer planned to wrap Bart in a plastic bag once the chimp fell asleep, then come back and feed it peaches laced with antifreeze. But by dawn, Toot Toot still hadn't slept, while Homer was snoring away on the ground.
Are you good? Huh? Oh, I fell asleep before the monkey!
Meanwhile, Marge took the Flanders children to a playground. Flanders, worried, secretly came to watch. He was shocked to see Rod climbing so high and feared he might get hurt. Rod wasn't scared at first, but after hearing his father's anxious words, he became frightened and ended up knocking out a tooth. Flanders decided he would never let Marge look after his children again. Everyone present called Marge an unfit mother. Marge denied it. Just then, a news report came on. Bart was being held hostage by a chimpanzee, and his mother was nowhere to be seen. At that very moment, Homer was still at the scene, desperately trying to figure out how to rescue Bart.
Mr. Simpson was later revived by a police stun gun.
Homer prepared a surprise for his family in the basement.
Look out for the stairs!
When they opened their eyes, they discovered that he had transformed the basement into an entertainment room. Marge and the kids absolutely loved it, but there was one problem. How could Homer afford all this? Homer told Marge not to worry. He had it all figured out. Homer immediately went to court to declare bankruptcy. The judge asked if he knew the procedures involved in filing for bankruptcy. Homer had certainly done his homework. He confidently recited the government's financial legislation, but it turned out to be the old law. Under the new regulations, Homer was required to repay all his debts. Although he had prepared thoroughly, he clearly hadn't fully understood the updated rules. Now the court would appoint a financial officer to oversee Homer's debt repayment.
Permission to moan?
I'll allow it.
Oh!
The financial officer reviewed the Simpson family's expenses and determined that Homer had over $1,000 in unnecessary spending each month. Seeing this, he advised Homer to cut back on expenses. So Homer immediately went to the nursing home and pulled Abe out. Although he had previously promised Abe that he could retire there, Abe now had to leave due to Homer's debt problems. To save money, Homer even stopped putting gas in the car. When he needed to drive, he used a Flintstone to start it.
Hey, God! So pretty! Yabba! Jabba! Chew!
Abe moved into the basement, but he was driving Marge crazy. He was even so scared at night that he slept in Homer and Marge's bedroom. Unable to take it anymore, they decided to go out on a date. Marge invited Selma over to babysit. The kids played on the floor while Selma and Abe sat on the couch drinking red wine. Even after the kids had fallen asleep, they kept drinking. By then, the alcohol had gone to their heads, and they started developing feelings for each other. The next moment, they were kissing. Just then, Homer and Marge returned from their date. As soon as they walked through the door, they witnessed an eye-searing scene.
A bear is eating my father!
I'm Selma.
A talking bear is eating my father!
One day, Abe asked Selma out on a date. He admitted that he had developed feelings for her. Selma was about to turn Abe down, but he asked her to give him a chance, to spend some time together before making a decision.
Yeah, what the hell? Want to split a basket of garlic bread?
Slow down, you hussy!
Selma and Abe watched the sunset together on a hilltop and played and frolicked at the beach. Homer looked at them as if they were his sworn enemies. One day, as Homer was walking down the street, Patty suddenly called out to him. It turned out that Patty also disapproved of Selma and Abe's relationship, so she approached Homer to find a way to break them up. They met up at the mall one day.
Selma!
Relax, it's just me, Patty.
Patty!
Homer put on a disguise while Patty dressed up as Selma and kissed Homer. When Abe saw this, he would surely misunderstand, and that would break up him and Selma. But just then, the real Selma appeared before them.
Dos Selmas? Ay, ay, ay!
She pulled off Homer's disguise. Abe was furious that Homer would go to such lengths to tear them apart. Even so, Abe still deeply loved Selma. He even proposed to her, and Selma accepted.
Homer, say hello to your new ma!
Soon the two got their marriage certificate. Abe took care of the household while Selma worked to support the family. She worked overtime every day and came home late. One day, Abe suddenly wanted a cup of hot tea. He walked into the kitchen but didn't know which one was the teapot, so he just grabbed something and put it on the gas stove. Then Abe discovered an egg tart maker. On a whim, he decided to make some egg tarts. Now he wanted to put on a movie to pass the time, but he accidentally put the tape into the microwave and even set the timer for 2 hours. Before long, the kitchen was filling with black smoke. The egg tart maker and microwave both exploded. Abe had turned the kitchen into a complete disaster. Homer and his friends won $200,000 with a lottery ticket they bought together. Carl, the most honest one among them, was sent to collect the prize money. But Homer and the others waited all day, and Carl never came back. So they went to Carl's house.
Carl's gone.
Our money's gone!
We've been betrayed by good old Carl.
Carl had already run off with the prize money. Fortunately, Homer found a clue in Carl's photos. Lisa looked up Carl's family tree online. She also found out that Carl's ancestral home was in Iceland.
Look, that's Carl's home, and that's where our money is. And that's where we're going. We gotta pack.
Lenny put his most precious belongings in a suitcase. Mo packed his luggage using paint cans. Before leaving, Homer moved the couch onto the bed to keep Marge company while she slept. The next day, the three of them boarded a flight to Iceland. They were reading a travel guide for Antarctica on the plane while wearing summer clothes. After getting off the plane, the three of them were shivering from the cold. They hurried to a store and bought warm winter clothes. Mo asked a passerby about Carl's home.
His name is Carl Carlson.
Carl Carlson? His family has been hated for 1,000 years.
Why does everybody hate Carl's family?
Then the passerby took them to the local museum. Carl's ancestors were supposed to guard Iceland's borders, but they failed to fulfill their duty, which led to an enemy invasion.
Apparently, screwing over your friend is in Carl's blood. Adopted blood.
Homer and the others found Carl's home based on the address the man gave them.
The gates are locked.
Then we'll just have to wait for him to come out.
They waited until late at night, but still didn't see Carl.
Man, stakeouts are so boring. I wish I had something to look at. I guess I'll just read the car rental contract again. Damage waiver, check. Return with full tank of gas, check. All drivers must be over the age of 25, and check.
The next day, Lenny spotted Carl driving out. Homer immediately drove after Carl, but when they reached the small town, they lost track of Carl. At that moment, Mo saw Carl coming out of a bank carrying a box. Carl saw them and quickly fled. Soon, both sides were too exhausted to run anymore.
It's no use. We're perfectly matched. We did it!
They went to a restaurant and pressed Carl for the reason he stole the money. Carl wanted to use the money to buy a missing page from a history book. This page could prove that his family had bravely resisted the invaders all along.
Why didn't you just tell us? We're your friends.
I didn't tell you because we're not friends.
Lenny was furious. He and Carl fought all the way outside the restaurant.
My eye!
My eye! My eye!
Hey, Freddy, forget him!
Mo took advantage of the chaos and grabbed the box, but the $200,000 had already been exchanged by Carl for the paper that could clear his family's name. Lenny angrily took the paper away.
No!
But Homer believed this paper was very important to Carl, so they decided to help Carl translate the old Icelandic text on it. After much studying, the three of them understood what it said. It turned out that Carl's ancestors surrendered immediately upon seeing the enemy. They even let the enemy into the city. This led to all the people of Iceland being killed. It turned out Carl's ancestors were even worse than people had known.
Carl betrayed his friends, blew the lottery money, all for nothing.
Hey, guys, I think I feel bad for Carl.
So they decided to help Carl's family gain people's acceptance. They gathered all the people of Iceland together. Homer argued that descendants shouldn't bear the blame for their ancestors' mistakes. Lenny said that Carl would help him move. Carl would also often help Mo. Carl would even put his unfinished beer in Homer's fridge.
Carlson is our friend, even if he doesn't believe it.
If we can forgive Carl for stealing our lottery winnings, maybe yous can find it in yous' hearts to forgive his ancestors.
Everyone decided to let go of their prejudice and accept Carl and his family.
How can you say these men are not your true friends? I can't. I can't.
A spider web appeared on Homer's body. He wanted to kill the spider but couldn't catch it no matter how hard he tried. The spider crawled under a box. Homer quietly approached and lifted the box, only to find no spider on the ground. But when he looked up, he discovered the spider was on the bottom of the box. The next moment, the spider dropped onto Homer's face. Homer grabbed insect spray and frantically sprayed his own face.
What? Spider poison is people poison? Good.
At that moment, Homer accidentally stepped on a skateboard and fell. He lay on the ground, unable to move. Homer spotted an evil-looking giant spider in front of him. He tried to grab a book to knock the spider down, but unexpectedly, the spider dodged it. The book ended up hitting the switch for the garage door instead.
Go! Ow!
Marge returned home with the two kids. She saw Homer trapped and immediately rushed forward to rescue him. By the time Homer was freed, his face had turned purple. Seeing this, Lisa immediately performed mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. Feeling it wasn't working, she had Bart help by pressing on Homer's chest. With the siblings' help, Homer was revived. He even coughed up a bunch of spiders.
You wouldn't believe what happened to me. I tried to do it. You told me to do it. What happened?
That night, Homer's mind still hadn't recovered. Marge was deeply worried. If something happened to Homer one day, what would become of her and the kids? After all, Homer had been teetering on the edge of death repeatedly. Marge decided to buy Homer a life insurance policy, but Homer believed he could live a long time without insurance. The next day, Homer and Marge went to the insurance company. Before processing the policy, the agent asked Homer if he had any major medical conditions. Homer said he not only had heart disease, but also had suffered a stroke. Upon hearing this, the agent immediately threw the policy into the shredder. Seeing this, Homer picked up a pen, intending to sign the policy anyway. Predictably, Homer's hand got caught in the shredder and started bleeding.
What a gerbil.
After returning home, Marge consoled herself that it was fine not to have insurance. Plenty of people don't have it. But then she saw on TV a man who was playing ball one second and dropped dead the next, while his wife and children ended up begging on the streets. What's more, the TV show was based on a true story. At that moment, Marge decided they would start saving money from now on. In the days that followed, the cereal they ate was the cheapest brand available. The clothes Bart and Lisa wore had belonged to dead people. Homer even had to bring his own cheap beer when he went to the bar.
Marge won't let me spend any money, even counterfeit money.
Homer couldn't stand Marge's penny-pinching lifestyle anymore. He argued that once you're dead, you can't enjoy the money, so why not splurge now? But Marge had her point too. Just last year alone, Homer had spent $5,000 on donuts and $2,000 on scalp massages. Homer retorted that it was his money he earned, so why couldn't he spend it? Marge exploded. She worked every day at home doing housework and raising the kids, and Homer's earnings wouldn't even be enough to hire a nanny. After venting, Marge stormed off angrily. Homer was equally indignant. At that moment, the money in the piggy bank suddenly spoke.
Give us our independence, Homer.
Yes, President Franklin.
The next day, Marge discovered all the money in the piggy bank was gone. She realized Homer had used it as a down payment on an RV because Homer wanted a castle where he could be king. This time, Marge was truly angry. She decided she wasn't going to talk to Homer anymore.
Damn it!
Homer told the kids that he and Marge were separating for a while. He took the kids to tour his RV. After seeing it, the siblings didn't want to go back, but they couldn't resist Marge's cheese and corn pancakes. Seeing this, Homer also brought out his own perks. He and Marge were now even competing for the children. In the end, Bart and Lisa chose Homer. Marge could only watch as they lived it up in the RV.